Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's HaQ&A, where I'm going to be answering your questions and comments and all that, same as usual, and discussing them and all that. Man, losing my words already. But yeah, this is always one of my favorite things to record each week, and right after this I'm going to be recording my predictions for this season of Mahou Shoujo Isekai Kaku, and who I think is going to live or die and all that, and then I'll be recording my predictions for The Walking Dead Season 7. So it's so good feeling to start, like, now that, you know how I said that one class that was really hard on me or whatever was ending last weekend? Now that that's over, it feels so good to have more time for my other classes and more time for YouTube and actually getting stuff done for you guys. So it feels good having that time, and now I can do more discussion type videos, and it's not just... I love doing my live reactions and reviews, like, absolutely love it, but it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, live reaction and review, just over and over again with nothing else splitting it up. But it feels good, and I'm excited to record some stuff like predictions again. It's really fun to think about it in a different way rather than just thinking about it as a review. It's fun to think about it again as like predictions and stuff and what I think might happen. It's a completely different thing that I'm really enjoying. And that means that, of course, like I said, the Black 2 Nuzlocke and the Boku no Hero Academia read-through are going to definitely be on schedule this weekend, unless it takes me friggin' forever to make a thumbnail, because I really try to work on making some good renders from the chapters to use in my thumbnails for the read-throughs. So unless that takes a while, it should definitely be up sometime around the afternoon and Saturday, maybe Saturday night. But yeah, either way, it'll most certainly be up Saturday unless I run into something unexpected. So I'm just, things are going well, and I'm happy I've got more time for everything. So let's get into the comments. And another thing that's going well, I hit 240 subs today, and I am so very happy that it seems like the subs are growing. The subs are growing pretty well again. It's like they grew really well in the spring, and then they kind of fell off during the summer, and now they're starting to grow again, like, noticeably. So I'm really happy for that, and I'm really hoping you guys enjoy all the content I'm putting out and all that. So yeah, all that and whatnot. So yeah, tell your friends to subscribe. Use code WAIFU for 10% off shame and self-respect. But yeah, let's see, where were we at with comments? What do we have this week to discuss? It's probably going to be, I don't know, pretty balanced between different stuff this week, I'm feeling. So yeah, okay, still not there. Okay, so yeah, I get where we left off. Okay, so starting this week's questions and what we should discuss. Cycle 113 said, you've got a nice outlook on the whole like-dislike view situation. Despite being a rather small channel, you obviously carry a passion for your content, which is great to see. And thank you so very much. And yeah, I just said it because, like, I always do YouTube because I want to discuss and share, like, Tower of God and Pokemon and One Piece and all that stuff that we're reading and watching. I just want to share that. I don't do it for the likes or views or anything, but I've seen so many people that, like, other small YouTubers that, like, if somebody else was doing One Piece or something and they had like 100 or 200 subs and I just talked to them or whatever, I've seen so many people that are around that size that are, like, so obsessed with knowing every single like or something that they get that it just really burns them out when they have a bad week, or if they put out a video that people don't really like that much. Like, it just really hurts them because they really get too invested in what people think about it and not about actually enjoying doing it, you know? So yeah, I was just saying, if anybody else out there is trying to do YouTube, don't get disheartened if you have a bad week or something, because it definitely happens. Or if you put out a video that people don't take well, just don't get completely defeated by it, because I've seen so many people defeated by it. I just say, just do something because you enjoy it, and the success that comes from whatever you enjoy doing, it'll come eventually if it's meant to be. Just do what you enjoy, basically. Louis C. Lena said, what's the class about? talking about the class that was ending. It was a contemporary history course, and really that's not very important. I've taken tons of history classes, and I've taken far higher level courses than that. It's just that the professor there, I said they were somewhat incompetent, which is a little bit mean, but it was one of those professors, that you get sometimes where they just assign ridiculous amounts of work. There's not really much of the teaching aspect, not really much lecture or anything. It's just pretty much assigning work, you do the work, which I don't mind. It's just with this class, this was far more work than I've ever had for any of my classes, even the classes that were far higher leveled, really. This was just a ridiculous amount of work. Like, it was probably like 80% of my work this semester. So with that out of the way, maybe even 90%, with that out of the way, I feel so much better about having the other 3 classes. Then they said, I see, I'm in my last university year and I've seen quite a few incompetent professors throughout my studying years. So I understand what you mean and good luck. So thank you once again. It always really, really makes me feel nice whenever you all give me the good, polite, kind messages that you always do, guys. And I said, or I congratulated them on it being their last year, because I know it's a hurdle. And I actually threw in special 240 sub special, something about myself outside of YouTube for you guys. I actually got a degree in science and worked in medical research for a while before YouTube, but pretty much that was like the work thing was pretty much research for a 5-month thing. So once that ended, I was like, I have a degree and I don't have a job. And I was like, and if I do get another job, if I get another one in research or something, it's just they're going to pay me for however many months or until we find something or until we don't find something, and then it's going to be over again. And I was like, I loved science, but I was like, that is really, really a unstable is maybe not the word I'm looking for. I don't know. It was a really I don't know. It wasn't a I guess stable is a good word. It wasn't something stable that I was like I can just do and make a living off of for the rest of my life or anything. So of course I was down in the dumps like you hear a lot of people are. I had no job. I wasn't in school anymore. I was like, I have this degree that's near worthless. So I was so down. I was like, I'm happy and enjoy watching other YouTubers. Maybe I should just make some videos. And I loved it, and people were so kind to me that I was like, I'm going to go back to school, but I want to do YouTube and never give up YouTube. Even if I'm doing something else, I'm still going to be putting out videos. So it's really been my passion. And when I went back to school, I actually, instead of going for science, I went into business and web design, because I was like, if I'm going to be doing YouTube and stuff related to that, maybe business or web design would be a better choice for me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to school for now. I'm in school for business and web design. 2 pretty unrelated things, though I guess in today's world they're not that unrelated. But both of those are what I'm learning about. And Louis said, awesome, amazing, I knew you were a smart guy. Thank you. I don't want to be one of those people that don't know how to take a compliment, so thank you. I don't think I'm that smart, but thank you. And they said they're studying structural engineering and bridge building, and that's really cool. Like, I find stuff like that really interesting. I don't know if I would be able to do engineering and stuff, but I find it very interesting. Oh, and I just noticed I didn't answer them in the comments after this one, but they said, how's the hurricane passing? And yeah, when it passed, was that last week or maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? I forgot I didn't talk to you guys about it. When the hurricane passed, I think I might have taken a day or 2 off of posting videos, but I don't remember. Maybe a day off. But basically, the power just went out a little bit here and there, and there were a bunch of trees knocked down, and it flooded a bit. But where I was, it wasn't really that bad, so I have no room to complain. It was not nearly as bad here as it was in a lot of places. We just got a little flooding and some trees knocked down all over my yard and stuff that are causing a bit of a mess. But other than that, everybody got out fine, and that's what matters to me. Anyway, Watcher said, sorry about about last week's Tower of God chapter. Sorry about mistaking the 299th chapter for the 300th chapter. I was about to correct it myself, but got caught up in a school assignment. Good luck on that school assignment. I know how those are. Anyway, it's good that you're getting some free time to read Boku no Hero Academia. There's no telling how fast you're going to get through the manga. And yeah, there was no need to correct that. I just noticed it while I was reading. I was like, oh, it's $2.99, not $300. It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, hopefully I can put out my Boku no Hero videos like just busting them out pretty quickly. I know I'm going to have one every Saturday is what I'm hoping for, like I said, but I'm hoping that I can do one every Saturday, and then maybe if I get free time on a Wednesday or something, just throw another one up. Like I said, they take like 10 hours in editing and rendering and uploading and all of that just because they're an hour long each. So it takes a good long while to actually do them. But yeah, I can probably throw one up if I have a free day, or say One Piece is off for a week, or I don't have anything big to do. I can just make another one of those. Joshua B said, I'm surprised you didn't talk about my thoughts on the Bomb and Kaiser similarities. And yeah, I kind of skimmed over that, and I couldn't think of any way. Every time I went and was answering questions this week, I wanted to bring this one up because every time I went in and I was thinking, I was answering comments, I would get to this comment and say, oh, I haven't answered that yet, and then I would be completely stuck. I was like, I don't know how to respond. I don't really have strong thoughts on it. Like, my thoughts aren't really strong and clear. Like, I can see some similarities between Bomb and Kaiser here and there. I agree with you that there are some similarities, but I don't really have anything specific that I really view as important or anything. Like, there are similarities, but I don't think they're like big enough to be incredibly important. And I'm sorry if I'm even sucking at answering it right now, but yeah, I could not figure out a good way to answer that whatsoever, and I still can't. I don't know, I guess that they're both good, but Kaiser was kind of changed by this world of the tower, and Bomb sort of differs in that he fought back from being changed by it, and they were both kind of deceived by the person they loved most as a child. Maybe that's kind of a good similarity too, but other than that, I don't really have any deeper thoughts than just pointing out those couple things. And those couple things are pretty striking and interesting, and it really goes to show how Bomb can relate to Kaiser, and maybe it'll be really good if Kaiser joins up with us, and I'm hoping she does, like a lot of you have said in the comments. A lot of you were hoping that Kaiser joins up with us, and at this point, I am very much hoping for that as well. Greg Emerson said about Silvali's new ability. The Arceus is pronounced Arceus system. That's the point. And yeah, I didn't know how to answer this either, because I was like, yeah, I think most people got that. Like, if they didn't get it their first time watching the trailer, they probably got it their second time or something. So I had already got it by the time you had commented that. So I was like, I thank you, but I mean, I think we got it. And yeah, and I'm thinking, what if it's actually pronounced Arceus and we have all just been pronouncing it wrong this entire time? Okay, either way, and I talked about that in one of my other videos. I think I just posted it this morning, so my last video before this one. Bright Yellow Golden Road said on one of my Tower of God videos, where's the anime? And if you're watching this video, like, I'm not, I even put it in the comment, I was like, I'm not sure what you mean, but Tower of God doesn't have an anime yet, it's just a manhwa, and I hope I was helpful in telling you that. But if you were wondering, like, where's the anime on my channel, or where's this or that, like, if you meant something other than, like, where's the anime for Tower of God or something, like you were looking at it or thought there already was one, just yeah, I wasn't 100% certain on what you just meant by where's the anime. Maga360 said about my last Boku no Hero read-through episode, as long as you tell us which site you're reading from, you do not need to tell us who's saying what. Anybody watching this is either reading along or has read it enough to know instinctively by now. And yeah, true. I was like, and I explained it, I was just like, I'm used to reading for the read-throughs. Since it's my first time reading the series, I'm used to reading it how I read my live reactions for Tower of God or One Piece, where I'm like, if people aren't reading along, I explain, I'm like, I read the line and I'm like, says Izuku, or Katsuki says, and stuff like that. Like, I'm almost narrating a book, It's just the way I've gotten used to reading my live reactions, so that's sort of how I read that as well. But I'll try to remember that from now on, because you're right. If you're going to watch an hour-long video, you're probably reading along while I am reading it. And yeah, also, since they mentioned what site I'm reading from, I use manga here from the read-throughs, because they usually have every chapter of a series from the beginning, and usually not all the other sites, they'll have like some of the recent chapters or something, but for whatever reason, whether it's copyright or not enough space or something, I don't know, whatever else, they don't have every single chapter, so I use manga here for it. Anime Watcher said, the first thing that shocked me when I was reading Boku no Hero Academia is how a modern Shonen Jump manga has a protagonist who thinks first and doesn't just jump in fist blazing, not caring about the consequences. And I doubt you can pick any best girl besides Uraraka. She is just too bae. And yeah, I really like that. It's refreshing to me to not have to deal with another setup of where all the characters are generic. Just from what I've read so far, there are some certain things that are like the common tropes, but the characters are pretty multifaceted just in the short bit that I've read. So I truly am liking that. They're not just one-dimensional characters going on. Like, yeah, and it totally is so good. It doesn't bother me like it did. Bleach, you guys know, was one of my favorite manga, but it always pissed me off Ichigo's personality. His personality where he would just go in without thinking. Like, he'd be smart when the plot wanted him to be smart, but usually he would just run in without thinking and still be successful. It just, it did bother me a bit. So I'm glad we don't have to deal with that there. Joshua B said, I never, oh yeah, and about Best Girl, right now for me it's, what was her name? Yaoyorozu Momo. That is a difficult name to say for me. Yeah, I think she's Best Girl for me right now, but then again, I've read 9 chapters, what do I know? And yeah, I really like Uraraka, and that's another thing that I had mentioned before, is there was this Japanese voting thing where they voted on who they thought the most annoying female character in like anime or manga or whatever was, and Uraraka won, and I saw 100% Madison, another small YouTuber. Check her out if you want. Say Haku sent you. I don't know. She probably wouldn't even know. But yeah, so what I thought when I heard that, I was like, there is no way. There's no freaking way. Sakura Haruno exists. There is no way she's the most annoying female character. So yeah, the fact that anybody was voted more annoying than Sakura from Naruto is just wrong. It's incorrect. There is no more annoying female character. No more useless female character at all. Point blank, period. And it also bothered me, my friend brought up too, that same voting thing, they voted like Kirito the best protagonist or something, when he is clearly the worst. Sorry if I'm getting on a rant or if you guys like Sword Art Online, but when it comes to sheer writing, because I don't want to sound pretentious, but I really care a lot about writing in stories and stuff, and have done a bit of writing myself, and I think I can see decent writing most of the time when I see it, and when it's terrible writing I can see it, and Sword Art Online is written like a middle schooler would write a role-playing fan fiction thing. It is bad. It is like power junkie, chunibyo, whatever. It is just Mary Sue out the asshole. It's bad writing. And so yeah, I cannot stand Sword Art Online. So yeah, that's another thing, getting to know more things about me outside of what I talk about on YouTube. I cannot stand Sword Art Online. So yeah, what else we got in here? Oh yeah, Joshua B. I never thought it was Misheni at all. Rather, I thought another regular princess from another family. It could easily go either way in terms of the next arc, and I'll be fine no matter which way it goes. I'm sure SIU knows what he's doing, although a small arc for the auction would be nice. And yeah, I think we need a small auction arc, because our characters are already at the auction. I think we need a few chapters just to settle some stuff there. And when I said Misheni last week, I just threw it out there because I was like, she's a notable princess. There might be a slight possibility. But then when I reread a couple times and realized that they were regular princesses, I was like, oh, I'm probably wrong since they said regular. It's probably not going to be Masheni. So honestly, I'm really surprised myself, and honestly, I can't wait to see why a high-ranking princess would even be involved in this. So I'm very interested there, and yeah, being able to sort of somewhat halfway guess that was just blind luck on my part. Venersis said, I totally ship Bomb and Elaine. I guess we can call her Elaine now. And yeah, I don't know. I've said it, I like Elaine sort of living for herself now. She's been working for others this whole time. I kind of want her to not be just random all over Bomb harem girl. I want her to be more self-sufficient and a strong female character. Like, that's another thing that I really hate in anything, whether it's movies, anime and manga, anything, is when you have a good, strong female character and they get ruined by romance. The romance makes them a weaker character and distracts from what they once were. I hate that. And that's another thing. I really like Fairy Tail. I have a really kind of a love-hate relationship with Fairy Tail. I hate so much about it, but I still enjoy it. And one of the things I can't stand most about Fairy Tail is that in the beginning, Erza was such a powerful, strong character, and she was one of my favorite characters. Then later on in the series, she got to the point where she could not do a single thing without Jalal holding her hand. So, yeah, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, is when you have a good character, especially a good female character, and romance just destroys what they once were. So yeah, I don't think that Elaine should be falling all over Bomb. I think she should be a strong individual character. And honestly, for shipping, this is a really generic answer, but I do think that Bomb probably works best with Andrasi to me. I can't think of anybody else I imagine Bomb with more than Andrasi. It seems the most realistic to me given all of their relationships. And two things that I do actively ship. I ship Rak with Yiwa. Rak and Yiwa, best couple. And I also ship Sachi and Ryun, just because they both have one eye, so it's like the two of them together, they have two eyes again. So yeah, Sachi and Ryun I ship. What else do we have? Alnoa.02014 A/Z24. I haven't commented in 2 chapters, and I read the recent chapter. Dang, this upcoming arc is going to be so good that we're going to see Kun Marie as a hard. And yeah, I don't think we'll get that arc until later, but I'm excited for the day when Kun and Maria reunite, because I think that scene is going to be really good, and SIU is really going to do it well since he set it up so far, so far in the past. Yodazuya White Bear Beppo said, Elaine is beautiful, but she also looks awkward. I don't know how to explain it. I'm excited for the Princess arc, but we still have the 43rd floor to go. And yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's the last panel when we do see Kaiser's face for the first time. Her eyes, like, compared to her other facial features, her eyes are pretty large. She went like full anime eyes on us. So I think that may be it. But her facial features were based on a wolf cub, and you can kind of see it. So I think it's really cool that SIU sort of did that in that way. I don't know. I think it looks cool. So yeah, I think that's it. And I'm excited for both Princess Arc and 43rd Floor as well. Future Guy 2014 said, amazing chapter, can't wait to see what's next. I'm really hoping that Kaiser/Elaine joins Bomb's group. I mean, she has to, right? Also, it'd be awesome if Andrasi's team joined up too and they can all go to the Floor of Death together. I'm really tired of the characters from the Floor of Test being separated. And yeah, I've said a bunch how I hate our characters constantly separating. So I do hope Kaiser joins. I hope Team Ship and Team Novik join back up with us. And I hope they stay with us for the Hell Train, the Floor of Death, and beyond. I think that what we need to do, we need to keep our characters together and just kill off a few more here and there. And I know we usually kill off a few each arc. We didn't this arc, but usually we kill off maybe a couple every big arc. And I think we're saving up right now so that we can kill off some bigger characters during the Floor of Death arc, just to really hammer home how dangerous it is. So yeah, I think I would rather our characters all stick together and just kill off a few more here and there than to have everybody split up all the time. Alnoa.02014 A/Z24 said, I wonder what kind of personality Maria has. I hope she's actually kind of on the nice and innocent side of things, kind of like Bomb. I hope that the tower hasn't completely corrupted her or anything. I would like if she had a personality somewhat similar to Bomb's, so we can see that, Kun really likes Bomb because he reminds him of Maria or something like that. I think that'd be an interesting little bit to throw in there. And lastly, Cycle 113 said, to be fair, Andrassi's scene with Bomb was purely for comedic purposes. I definitely wanted to discuss this one. I agree that it was for comedic purposes, but I still think that things a character does in a comedic scene have weight on their overall character. Like, even what I consider to be one of the better written comedies that I've read in Monster Musume no Uru Nichijou. I don't know, there are comedies that I think are better written, like, say, Bimbo Gamiga was an amazing comedy, and I really enjoyed Sabajibu as well. But basically, if a character does something and it's funny and it's comedic, it's still in their character. And with Andrassi, she did that, and that's in her character. She sort of done some serious stuff that was kind of selfish and stuff, and I don't like it. But like I said in the comment, Andrassi's behavior in that one scene, her behavior, all the rest of the scenes with Andrassi this chapter were awesome, and every other scene this chapter was awesome. It was just one scene, or one thing in one scene that I didn't really like, in a chapter full of stuff that I loved. So in the grand scheme of things, it's just one thing I dislike in a sea of things I liked. And that's the thing, like the same with the arc as a whole. I really loved the arc and it exceeded expectations, but nothing's perfect. Just because you absolutely, I spelled perfect wrong, I said prefect. But either way, just because like you really like a series or something doesn't mean it's perfect. You can safely point out the flaws in things you love, and that's, as a person talking about it on YouTube, I kinda have to do that. And it's also one of those things where if it's something that everybody likes and you point out something that you dislike about it, you kind of have to be sure to explain yourself well, or you're just going to hear about it a lot. And the same goes the other way. If it's something everybody's hating on and you say I like it, you've got to be sure to explain a lot about why and how you like it. But the reason, like, nothing's perfect. There were a few things in this arc that SIU could have done a little bit better, and I think that Andrassi's personality this arc was really hit and miss for me. And that's just the thing. That's one thing that I can point out, that I can say I didn't really like in a thing that I completely loved. So yeah, it just didn't work for me. It's just one negative in a sea of positives. And that's it for this week's HaQ&A. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got off on a side tangent a lot, but I kind of wanted to do that because I think it adds a little bit more, makes it a little bit more personal, and that's what the HaQ&A videos have always been about for me. They're not about just like answering questions mindlessly or anything. It's, I want to discuss what you guys comment about, because you guys wouldn't want me to just answer it straight away. I mean, you want some actual substance there. You want me to discuss the topic a little bit more and be clearer on what I think. So yeah, and I like throwing in the extra stuff because this is about a personal discussion, and again, that was another reason why I did it, because I was like, I could just answer you all in the comments, but if I give you an answer here, I can go more in depth, and I can just say it to you and be a lot more personal with it. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy all of that. Like if you did like the video, I guess. Comment down there. Tell me what you thought of everything we discussed here, or if you have anything else you want us to talk about next week. And that's it. Subscribe for more of everything I talked here and much more. Like I said, all those videos are going to be up at some point, and it is going to be a lot better on this channel for uploads. Not that we're going to be uploading a lot more frequent, we're going to have our videos up properly. It's not going to be like, oh man, I don't have time to do this and then I have to rush and pump out a bunch at once. It's going to be more of how I want to upload them when I have time, you know? That was kind of a stupid way to explain that. But either way, whatever, follow on Twitter as well if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff with the channel, and that's it. When we do hit that 250 subs, just 10 more, guys. When we do hit that, I will be doing my 250 sub special that we talked about, where I will be discussing every anime that I have watched. I'll list every anime that I've watched and just say, like, let's say I talk about, what's an anime I've watched off the top of my head? Let's say I talk about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'll just say I've watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'll say a couple short things of what I liked about it, a couple short things I disliked, just some general thoughts on it real quick. Maybe for some series I'll go a little bit more in depth, but basically I'll just talk about every single anime I've seen because that's something that you guys have suggested, and I think it's a really good idea. But that's it. So thank you so much for this, for sticking through this video. That's it. So I'll see you all next time.